All right, our last part of this project, the organic geometric watercolor mixing, is that we're going to add color to it. So hopefully you have gotten to the point where you have done the whole thing in Sharpie and you've gone through and been able to erase any pencil lines that you can see on your final paper. Now, before we just go straight into painting it on here, we need to plan some colors. So right here I have my sketchbook open. I have my watercolor mixing because it should be in here, and then I also have my 4 plans that I'm just going to test out some colors on. Now, taking a look at these, I can see what's going to happen when these colors mix together. Now, you're going to be using different colors, maybe 2 or 3 different colors for each side of yours, the geometric and organic side, and they're going to be different though. Now, I am thinking in my mind, I really like the yellow, blue, green kind of colors, so maybe like these 3. So I have green, yellow, blue, maybe a green, blue, and a green, yellow. So I think that's kind of what I'm going to start off with my first one. So to play around with those, right in my sketchbook, I'm just going to flip it up like this, and to flip it around so I don't have all those colors. I can always flip back and look and see it in just a second. Okay, so again, when we do watercolor, we're gonna do water first on our brush, then I'm gonna pick the color I want. I'll start off with yellow. So I'm going to start off with my yellow right here. I'm gonna have it go up into that space. Now I'm gonna start adding some blue to it. Maybe like kind of in the middle. Ooh, I need a little bit more blue. Now again, remember to plan which side of your water tray you want to be clean and which side is gonna be the dirty side. Make sure you wake up those colors if they're really light like mine. And I love it when how they look together when they blend like that. Okay, so I'm gonna maybe play around with these colors for all of my organic side. And you can experiment, see what happens when they're together. You could experiment and see what would it look like if they were side by side. This is a good way to build those watercolor skills. Notice that my brush is staying up on its tip, not falling down. Maybe I said I was gonna do, well, we know that blue and yellow makes green, so maybe I'll just put some green in next to it and play around with that. And I'm liking what I see so far. Now you need enough water on your brush so that the colors are light, not dark and sticky, because watercolors are nice and light. But you also need to make sure that you don't have too much water on your brush so you have like puddles everywhere. We don't want that. Okay, I think that's good. Let me play around with my other side. So maybe I'm thinking kind of like a red and orange theme for over here. So I'm gonna add some red. And maybe another thing that you can do is, this is just an idea, I can have everything on my geometric side stay nice and separate. Maybe my organic side would be more blended. That's an artistic idea that you can come up with your own. So you're just playing around with these colors, seeing what they look like together. All right, I like that. I'll try a couple more things and then we will move on. All right, let me think. Maybe like a blue and a purple, or a blue and a violet from over here. So I have my violet. Maybe I want to wash it out and get some blue. Maybe over on this side, make them blend in the middle. I really like these 2 colors together. So this is another good option. Now there are 2 ways to get watercolors to be dark or light. One way is to do more paint and less water, and you'll have it look darker like it does here than over here. Another way is to layer it. So you could do a layer, let it dry, and do a layer on top. Just make sure it's not too dark. It's not sticky. We never want sticky. And it should not be shiny when it dries. If it seems like it might be shiny when it dries, then you've got too much paint. Now there's a way to fix that. If you do get too much paint, just get some of that clean water and blend it with it. And you can see I can pull some of this paint out to get a nice light lavender. So I have two different shades of violet right here, which I'm really liking the two different shades of that violet. That might be something I keep on doing. So this is really for experimenting with your colors. Then maybe I'll just do one more on the other side. Let me think. Maybe I'll keep the purple. Maybe the purple will be kind of like the anchor to this, and I'll do red and purple on the other side, because I know that those two are next to each other on the color wheel. Those are a good color combination. So if you're not sure which colors to do, remember you can always flip back to wherever your color mixing sheet is and you can see like, ooh, I think those two colors would be good together, and so on. So add some of that purple into that red. Purple's a really strong color, the violet is. So it really goes a long, long way. So I'll keep playing around with these. I've got my organic and geometric sides. Each of them is going to have its own color scheme, so its own specific picked out colors for it. All right, once you get your colors picked out, it is time for us to move on to the final step.